Hey team, and welcome back to at-home workout number 21. Today we're going to get started with our Tabata warm-up. We're going to start with overhead squats, then we're going to move on to burpees, and then finish with hollow rocks. So for our Tabata warm-up, we're going to start off with an overhead squat. If you guys want to use an empty barbell or a PVC pipe, y'all can use either one. But we're going to start off with that overhead squat, so get that bar positioned up overhead as we break the hips and knees at the same time, staying nice and centered, getting good depth, and then standing back tall. So moving for 20 seconds there. Then once we finish our overhead squats, we're going to go on to our burpees. So 20 seconds of a regular burpee, working on keeping those feet flat on the way up out of that burpee. Then we're going to finish with hollow rocks. So laying on your back. Remember, we talked about these before we had to close down, but make sure that we keep those hips tucked, our shoulders off the ground, our legs nice and tight as we rock back and forth. If you're not able to do that, rocking on the low back nice and smooth, then shorten the levers. You pull those knees in, go arms up overhead or vice versa, arms long, hands next to your hips as we rock that way. But make sure we're rocking nice and smooth on that low back. So those are your 3 movements for your Tabata warm-up. Once you guys get through your warm-up, we're going to get into our strength. Our strength today is going to be a snatch complex. So we're going to do 3 power snatches plus 1 overhead squat. So these reps are going to be touch and go. So working on staying centered, balanced over the middle of the foot, working on 3 power snatches, and then after you finish that last power snatch, we're going to go right into an overhead squat. So touch and go reps here. We're doing 5 sets of 3 plus 1. Snatch complex is going to be 3 touch and go power snatches plus 1 overhead squat. So as we get set, eyes and chest are showing forward. We have a good back angle. Weight is in the middle of the foot. As we pull, receiving with the hips back, bar behind the ears. We stand up, reset the feet, bring the bar back down. As we're touching and going, we want to make sure we're as balanced as possible. So trying to repeat the same setup position just like the first rep on the second and third rep. So after your 3 power snatches, going to keep the bar up overhead and then go right into your overhead squat. So the things I'm looking for here, staying as balanced as possible through the full pull, finding contact, and then receiving hips back, bar behind the ears. So if you guys need to work that progression before you start adding weight, highly recommend doing that just to get those positions down so we feel more comfortable when we start adding that weight. But 3 touch and go power snatches plus 1 overhead squat. All right, guys, so once you finish your power snatches, we're going to get into the workout. The workout today is going to be Randy. This is a hero workout. If you've never done Randy before, it is 75 snatches for time. The weight is 75 for the guys, 55 for the girls. So it's a relatively light barbell. Seeing how long you can hang on to this barbell and see how fast you can get these snatches done. So 75 reps. If you're using a barbell, 75, 55. If not, if you're option 2 with only dumbbells or kettlebells, we're doing 75 alternating snatches, either with the dumbbell or kettlebell. And if you do not have dumbbell or kettlebell, you're just going to get creative, find something in your house. My favorite go-to is the backpack, so filling up that backpack with some weight and then touching it to the ground and then finishing in an overhead position. 75 reps for time. Now, as we get into Randy, since I went over the snatch on the complex, I'm just going to go over a few efficiency tips here for the snatch since we're cycling 75 of them rather than just doing 1 or 2. So the difference between that is just efficiency as in CrossFit efficiency rather than technical weightlifting movement. So as we get into it, we want to make sure that our feet are in a position where we don't have to move them a whole lot. So I know that we talk about full extension, moving the feet out in a regular snatch, but today since we're doing 75 of them, you want to be as efficient as possible. You want to put your feet in a position to where they don't have to move. Okay, so getting a good setup position here. Now, some of you guys may be able to muscle snatch. That will only get you very far until you're going to have to start powering that snatch. I recommend starting that off from the get-go. Every little bit of energy that you can reserve is going to help you out in the long run when it comes to finishing that last 20 to 30 reps. So, making sure that when we set up, get our feet in a good position where we don't have to move them. As we extend, we want to use our legs as much as possible. Relax that grip up overhead. Okay, that grip is going to wear on you, so you want to relax it wherever you can, up overhead. All right, very little lean in under the bar, and then we stand up. All right, so being as efficient as we can with those power snatches, and then very slight press out at the top. But making sure that we can be as efficient as possible and hanging on for as consistent sets as possible. Some of you strong guys, hang on for as long as you can, see how long you can hang on. But finishing 75 snatches as fast as you can. Now, once you guys finish your workout, and before you get into your mobility, because I know everybody is doing their stretching and working on their mobility in this quarantine. So before you guys get into your stretching, we're gonna finish up with some accessory work. So just some work on those show muscles, those biceps and triceps. So we're gonna do 3 sets of 8 on each arm. If you got 1 dumbbell, you can do single arm, or if you've got 2, you can do them at the same time. We're gonna do 3 sets of 8 of a hammer curl. Once we finish those hammer curls, we're gonna go into a banded tricep extension. So banded tricep extension, you're gonna loop it around something overhead, and then you're going to keep those elbows down to the side, and you're going to extend down. 3 sets of 20 there. After you finish your banded tricep extensions, we're going to go into an isometric push-up hold at the bottom of your push-up. So I'll demo that here in just a second, but those are your 3 movements for your accessory work. Your hammer curls, your banded tricep extensions, and then your isometric push-up hold. Once you guys finish your workout, we're going to get into our bro sesh. So resting I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes before we start doing this work. But we're going to start off with hammer curls. So if you've got 2 dumbbells, 1 in each hand, we're keeping those palms facing each other. So 8 hammer curls. I want you to make sure that your elbows are staying next to your ribs and they're not floating back behind your body. So there's a big difference between doing them here and doing them here. Okay, so make sure they stay out front, and then we curl head of the dumbbell up to the shoulder. So we're doing 8 reps there. Then if you guys have a resistance band, we're going to go into 20 tricep extensions here. All right, if you don't have a band to use for extensions, then we're just going to do behind the neck tricep extensions this way. So 1 dumbbell, keeping the ribs down, squeezing the butt, and then extending that dumbbell up overhead. After you finish your set of 8, your set of 20, then we're going to go into a push-up isometric hold. So getting into the bottom of the push-up, and we're holding about 1 inch off the floor. So holding that position, making sure that we can keep our shoulder blades pinched in that bottom position, okay? I don't want you guys rounding forward of the shoulders as we're holding that down there, okay? It's going to be much harder to maintain that position. So make sure you're holding that position and only holding it for as long as you're able to, and not trying to compensate by rolling forward. So holding that push-up plank at the very bottom, about 1 inch off the ground, just hovering above the floor, holding that as long as possible. So max effort. So 3 by 8, 3 by 20, and then 3 by max effort of the isometric hold. That's all we have today for our at-home workout number 21. Hope you guys are able to get fairly heavy and make these snatches look good for the complex, and then are able to smash some PRs on Randy. If you've never done it before, hang on and try and finish it as quick as you can. Let it hurt a little bit, because it will. But if you guys have any questions, always reach out to us. But be on the lookout for the Support Your Local Box workout coming out either today or tomorrow. Not too sure, but we're going to be doing that workout on Monday, so save it for then. But until then, log your workouts on the whiteboard, and we will see you guys next time. Oh man, I just noticed I'm on a Snatch is my favorite shirt.